Knowledge, here we cannot take the relative knowledge. If we are having the knowledge of a particular thing, it again goes away and another knowledge comes. Now I am seeing the pot, next moment I was seeing the cup. Pot knowledge is gone. So, the relative knowledge is coming and going. Relative knowledge is coming and going. Whereas the absolute knowledge, that is the knowledge itself, the consciousness here, it is called knowledge itself. So there is no difference between the consciousness and knowledge. However, why? He says the Atman is by nature it is full of knowledge. Knowledge is absolute, we say. So, from that standpoint, he is telling the knowledge existing in the birthless souls is regarded unborn and unrelated. That knowledge, that consciousness is not taking birth or it is related to any object. Inasmuch as the knowledge has no relation with other objects, it is declared to be unattached. It is declared to be unattached. Then he says, if there be birth for a thing, however insignificant it may be, non-attachment shall never be possible for the ignorant man. So, here he is telling about the ignorant man. What he thinks, a birth of a thing is there. But the proponent says, the birth of a thing, however insignificant it may be, in this connection, I would like to tell you, if, however insignificant may be the desire, then you will not regret. Here he is telling about the birth. But according to the Shastras, the desire may be very insignificant. If the desire is there, mind is not dissolved, not relaxed. However insignificant it may be, non-attachment shall never be possible for the ignorant man. So, he says, non-attachment, because he is taking the birth as real. He is taking the birth of consciousness, the soul, as real. So, the non-attachment shall never be possible for him. But the non-dualist says it is completely non-attached. What to speak of the destruction of covering for him? So, he is telling, thinking that birth is real. If birth is real, bondage becomes real. If bondage becomes real, no realization. That's why he says, what to speak of the destruction of covering for him? So, the destruction can never happen. What we say here in Vedanta, we say the subtle body gets distracted when you realize. That will not happen for an ignorant person. If it is held that those who assert that there is no destruction of covering have themselves accepted a covering. See, first he says, who assert that there is no destruction of covering, and then have themselves accepted a covering, another covering. One covering is there as body and ignorance, like birth, etc. For souls in their doctrine, it is replied to in the negative. So, not taking their standpoint, he is replying, but in the negative form he is replying. All souls are devoid of any covering. What he has accepted? A covering first he ascertained, and another covering he has accepted. Rather to say because of ignorance he has accepted a cover. But what is the fact? All souls are devoid of any covering and are by nature pure. They are illumined as well as free from the beginning. The illumination, the bliss, all these things are there from the beginning. If the self-effulgence is not there in the soul, if it is not free from the beginning, it can never become free. So, we have to accept that the self is unborn, non-attached, self-luminous. From the beginning it is free. If it is not free, the bondage becomes real, and the real bondage you cannot cut asunder. Thus, they are said to be masters. They are illumined as well as free from the beginning. So, not that they got illumination afterwards. First it was not there, afterwards it has come. The illumination. That's why Swami Vivekananda says, each soul is potentially divine. The divinity is there already in him. You have to manifest it by uncovering the ignorance. So, if the divinity is not there, where from you will get? Thus, they are said to be masters, since they are capable of knowing. Capable of knowing. The capability is there already. That's why they know. That's why they are called great masters, masters of knowledge. If such be the case, how are they said to be capable of knowing? Again he puts a question. For that he says, the knowledge of the one who is enlightened, all pervasive, does not enter into the objects. And so the souls also do not enter into the objects. This fact was not mentioned by the Buddha. What is the meaning bringing Buddha? He is a Sunyavadi, Kshenikavadi, whatever it may be. Why you should bring? He says, you are accepting the doctrine of Buddha. That we are not accepting. Why? Because he has not told this particular point. What is the point? Objects are not entering into the consciousness, and so the souls also do not enter the objects. That means the objects are relative, they are transitory, they are unreal, they are imaginary, it is only delusion. This fact was not mentioned by Buddha. So we have to do the commentary for this. Since the knowledge of enlightened one who has perceived the supreme reality of all pervading one, that is, like ether, without any interstice, or of the one that is either worthy of worship or intelligent, does not enter into other objects. That is, his knowledge is always located in the soul, as light is in the sun. Similarly, all the souls, like knowledge itself, do not enter into any other object whatsoever, they being of the nature of ether. This is the import. Knowledge of the enlightened one. Now he says, you see, because he cannot talk about the soul, self, Atman. But the knowledge, that is also when we talk in the relative plane. The Atman is having knowledge, bliss, existence absolute in the relative plane, because the ignorant person may think that it is not existing, it is only ignorance and it is only sorrow. So to avoid that, he says, in the relative plane we have given these three adjectives, but they are not there. Now, how can he speak of that absolute? He cannot speak. That's why that absolute is not different from the knowledge. That's why instead of telling a self, a Atman or Brahman, whenever we use these words, Atman, Brahman, self, soul, they give the indicated meaning. Not in the relative plane, these things we cannot see. But when we utter, it is indicating the absolute consciousness. This previously also I told, so you should not forget. Whenever we say Paramatman, Brahman, Atman, it is only the indicated meaning of the consciousness, because we cannot tell about it in the relative plane. That's why now what he is doing, he has combined that consciousness and knowledge into one. Instead of saying consciousness, he says knowledge. See the knowledge of the enlightened one, or the consciousness of the enlightened one, has perceived the supreme reality. That means, perceived in the sense, has experienced the supreme reality, which is all pervading, like the ether, without any intermediate or without any object in it, or of the one that is either worthy of worship or intelligent. Now again he says that the consciousness is either worthy of worship or intelligent. Then you say it is not worthy of worship, but at the same time you cannot think of it. That's why he is giving the intelligent. Because when you think of something, relative plane comes, mind comes, but there is no mind. That's why he says, no buddhi there. does not enter into other objects, that consciousness will never enter into the objects. His knowledge is always located in the soul. Now he says, the enlightened person, his knowledge is centered, located in the soul, as light is in the sun. So the light of sun is not different from sun. The knowledge of a realized person is not different from him. Similarly, all the souls, like knowledge itself, do not enter into any other object whatsoever. Then, where is the world? If you say only consciousness is there, objects have not entered, in the relative plane we are seeing so many objects, where from these have come? That's why he says simply they are imaginary, they are only appearances. If you accept this particular theory of illusion or appearance or imagination, then only you can see the unreality of the world. The moment you mix something in this relative plane, no, then you cannot have the glimpse of the non-dual, Atman. Do not enter into any other object whatsoever, they being of the nature of ether. This is the import. Now here he is telling further, the knowledge described earlier in through his knowledge which again resembles ether. That is, this 4th chapter, Karika 1. Akasha Kalpam. Is this knowledge which is very much like ether and which does not enter into any other object and which is possessed of by the enlightened one. This knowledge is possessed by the enlightened one, who is all pervasive. So, not only the Atman is all pervasive, the enlightened one also is all pervasive. On account of his being identified with knowledge itself. Why is all pervasive? Reason also is giving. Because he is identified with the knowledge itself. So also are the souls. They are the reality of the self, that is Brahman. So, there is no differentiation between Brahman and Atman, or the soul and Brahman, or Atman and Paramatma. What you can prove? Can you prove Atman? Can you prove Brahman? Can you prove the difference between them? Nothing. But so, no difference. And are like ether, constant, immutable, partless, eternal, non-dual, unattached, unseen, unthinkable, and beyond hunger. Now telling, he says that particular Atman is beyond hunger and thirst. Why he should say? He says, you are describing the Atman, which is identified with the realized person. All the souls are like that, all pervasive. Then, why the hunger should come? He says, in that consciousness, there is no gross body, so no hunger and thirst, no mind or intellect, so no happiness and no sorrow, no difficulties, and no causal body, no ignorance. So, it is beyond death. It is beyond death. and beyond birth. Morning I told, Anadhi Nidanaha, na Adirisi Anadi. Na Nidhana Yasya Anadi Nidhana. No death, no beginning. No beginning means no birth. Then, if birth is not there, where from death will come? That means we should negate the causal body, ignorance. Due to that, we say birth and death. Then no subtle body, no mind, no gross body. So somebody may think that these things may be there. That's why he says nothing. Is evidenced by the Shruti passage, for the sight of the sea is never lost. Now he says, the sight of the sea is never lost means, in the sense, it is always there. That when you are sleeping, at that time also it is there. Before your birth it is there. After your death it will be there. That's why Sri Krishna says, I am nothing to do with this world. Nothing to gain, nothing to lose. But still I work. That means, from the absolute standpoint of view, he is telling, as Atman, nothing to gain, nothing to lose, nothing to do, but still I am working as a human being. Mention of the fact that the supreme reality is non-dual and devoid of distinctions, such as the knowledge, the known and the knower. Now here, knowledge means not consciousness. Here the relative knowledge. Now, when he is telling, mention of the fact that the supreme reality is non-dual and devoid of distinctions, such as knowledge is known and the knower. This knowledge is not Atman, relative knowledge, has not been made by Buddha, though by denial of external objects and by imagining everything as nothing but consciousness. What he said comes almost near non-dualism. He says, though by the denial of external objects, there are 4 followers of Buddha. So, now combine the 4. One accepts the external objects, another does not accept the external objects, and the third man says it is momentary. A fourth man says nothing exists, void. So when you combine all these things, you can understand this one, this point. How? Though by denial of external objects and by imagining everything as nothing, void. To this extent, he is what Buddha has told that he has translated. Then he says, but consciousness, what he said comes almost near non-dualism. Consciousness, what Buddha told, but he never told about the consciousness. He never accepted. He has never accepted Vedas or the if he has accepted consciousness, why he should say momentary? Why he should say void? So, what he said the consciousness as void, that comes almost near non-dualism. So, how it comes near non-dualism? That external things are not there, he has also accepted. Everything is momentary, he said. We say everything is transitory, the world is transitory. Then he says void, but we say consciousness. That's all. That's why he says, whatever he says is near non-dualism. That's why even Shankaracharya was told Prachana Buddha. Huh? Because he is telling, they say it is void, momentary, and we say it is consciousness. Nobody understands that. So what they say, Shankaracharya also is telling what Buddha told. That's why I think he brought this Buddha. What he said comes almost near non-dualism. The meaning is that this supreme reality, that is non-dual, is to be known only from Vedanta text. Without Vedanta, without scriptures, nothing is known. Otherwise, you also will become a Jiddi Krishnamurti. You know, he goes round, and again finally goes to the Buddhism. Finally goes to Buddhism. There is a very great thinker in India, is called Jiddi Krishnamurti, J. Krishnamurti. So, what is his doctrine? He says so many things, but finally where he ends, it almost in Buddhism. He ends. If you don't take the support of the scriptures, if you don't accept the teachings of the great masters, you will be nihilist. Bas. You will be nihilist. That is why the commentators, the sub-commentators, they take the support of logic and prove that your existence is the existence of Atman. If you say Atman is not there, Brahman is not there, then where from you have come? Who is telling? Who is talking? Who is arguing? All these questions will come. When you say void, who is telling void? That witness is there. All these things will come. The knower of Brahman will not enter into the objects, but as sun, his knowledge is located in the self. So, there is there is no attachment with the objects. You cannot tell the knower is knowing something different from him. Sub-commentator is telling. You cannot tell the knower is knowing something different from him. That means what he is knowing is about his own self. That it is covered, he has uncovered. Now, in Vedanta, there they call Vritti Vyapti, Phala Vyapti. Two things they say. When you see a pot, you are having the impression of the pot. You are having the knowledge of the pot. When you are seeing a pot, two things are there. What are the two things? The impression of the pot and the knowledge of the pot are seeing. But when a pot is there, then only you can have the knowledge of the pot. So far, so good. But when you want to know the self, it is not an object.
When you say knowledge, you mean remembrance?
Now there it is, remembrance. You can say all the knowledge of the pot, jnana.
Of previous spots that you've seen.
Now you are seeing, in the world, Whatever object we are seeing an object, and the knowledge of the object we are having because of the object. But the self is not like an object. So now what you want to see? You want to see yourself. You want to experience yourself. That's why they say, as in the objects, here two impressions are not necessary. Because of the object, I am seeing the object, I am having the knowledge of the object. Here, who is the object? Your own self. Who is the seer? Your own self. Who want to know? Your own self. So two different things are not there. That's why two impressions are not necessary. Only vritti vyapti. That means somehow or other you make the impression in the mind that is Brahman alone is existing. That's all. But that is also because in the mind it is unreal. That is we call savikalpa samadhi. Then if that impression dissolves, then nirvikalpa. So there is no difference like knower, knowing and known. Why? The knower is not different from the knowing. The knower is not different from the knowing. The supreme reality, the knowers of supreme reality are told with adjective, he says. The knowers of supreme reality and knowers. So the knowers have become the adjective. That is says, with adjective they have been told, that's why they are called Tainaha. Tainaha. In the 99th Karika, the first stanza, last word is called Tainaha. That's why, now you see, what the subcommentator told, the knower is not different from the knowing. Then what it becomes? Only Atman, only consciousness. That is why this Panoli, he gave a footnote. What he says? Souls themselves and not the wise. So Taina, we should not take the men of knowledge. What you should take? The self itself, the soul itself, the Atman itself. That is what Lord Shankaracharya wanted to tell. But whereas in other places, the wise speak of them as capable of knowing. But here that meaning is not there. Here, because there is no difference between the knowing or the knower, or a known and knower, difference is not there. That is why we take Taina as the Atman itself directly. It is explained, the principal knowability. As he told, the wise speak of them as capable of knowing. That's why he say it is the knowing capacity. He says. Bodhrutvam. What you say, the capacity of knowing, it is called bodhrutvam. Bodha is knowing, bodhrutvam is the noun. Knowingness. But he says, in the Atman that is also is not there. In the Atman, the knowingness is not there. Bodhrutvam. Why? There is no difference between a thing to be known and a knower. That's why in the beginning we told Akasha Kalpa. All that you have told in the beginning, now again why you are bringing that Akash Kalpa here? Now what we have started, that we want to conclude. Yad Adau Akasha Kalpa. That morning we told 461 first sloka. All souls are like that, tatha. He says, all the souls are like that. Here also he says, all the souls, like knowledge itself, do not enter into any other object. The souls are not changing. So also, in Atman, there is no knowing, but used in subsidiary meaning. Now, the wise speak of them as capable of knowing. That means a thing is there and the knowing action is there. Two things are there? No. He says it is used in subsidiary meaning. Gauna, not actual. Now again he says, the knowledge is explained. Akashamiva achalam. It is not changing. It is all-pervading like ether. Avikriyam, no change, no parts, eternal, non-dual, non-attached to anything. Asangam, adrishyam, you cannot see with mind, you cannot catch with sense organs, like hand etc. Agrahyam, asanayadatitam. Here he says, the commentator, it is beyond the hunger and thirst. That's why I have explained, no gross body in it, no subtle body in it, no causal body in it, no ignorance in it. What is there, that is there. That is Brahma-Atma Tattvam. Nahi drashtir drishtir viparilopo vidyate. He is only the seer. But if you say he is the seer, he is always existing, then seer as a witness has been superimposed, has been imagined. Then neti neti, only this much you can tell about Atman, nothing else. What you can tell at best? No witness, no seer. Then neti neti. Whatever is there, you negate, that's all. All what is the world? Is all five elements. So gross elements and subtle elements you negate. What remains? That is yourself. Now, directly if you say to a person that it is only neti neti, no will understand. Nobody will understand. What is Brahman? Neti neti. What is neti neti? Not this, not this. What is not this, not this? Then we have to explain him. You see, only Atman was there. It has desired to give the fruits of the individual source. That's why he has created. It has created all gross elements. It has created subtle elements. So subtle body, gross body, these things are not there in the Atman. The Creator alone is there. Then he will understand, oh, this is neti neti. The difference of any sort There is no difference of any sort, he says. Why? It is paripurna, all pervading. So, no differences in it. No starting, no destruction, no birth. Anadi nidhana. It is only experience only. Jneptireva kevalam. Jnepti means the experience as existing. That is Atma. Without objects. That also experience without objects. Can be understood only through Upanishads. So, how can we understand this? That is only the experience without objects. Without objects, then immediately the follower of logic comes. Without object, how the experience will be there? These things will come. That's why he says, you are the seer. You are not the object. What you are seeing. So, the subject is different from the object. We say objects are not there, subject alone is there. Then what about the objects? That is in the relative plane, they are imaginary, they are illusion, maya, ajnana, you going on telling whatever you want. That is all objects. That we are stating here, that can be understood only through Upanishads. Why again he is repeating this word? See, the opponents, though they study the Upanishads, they are not having full understanding because they don't contemplate on the beginning and the end, the repetition, the fruits, and the exaltation. Then no logic and no praise or no blame. When you take the support of these things and when you contemplate on a subject, you can understand the meaning of the subject. Otherwise,
Swamiji, what you just said, that it is the experience of existence without objects. This is Spurna, or Spurna is also superintelligent?
Purana we can say that we can Jnepti, Spurana we can say experience. Atma Spurana we use, that is the feeling. You say experience or feeling. Not like this. In other doctrines they declared. Like this, in other doctrines they have not declared. So, what to talk of the mixture of other doctrines? It says mixture. Other doctrines have not declared about the self like this. The moment we open their doctrine, they take the duality. They say there are so many souls, so many individuals, and they give preference for the relativity only, the relative world. So, like this, other doctrines have not declared, he says. And what to talk of the mixture of the all other doctrines? They go still further. Now he says, as in the beginning, so in the end, we remember the Supreme Lord. In the 4th chapter, also beginning we have remembered, beginning of the Shastra we have remembered, now in the end we are again remembering. So, as Mangalacharana, remember the Supreme Lord as Mangalacharana in the form of Namaskaram. We offer where prostrations. Then he says, having realized the non-dual state that is hard to perceive, deep, unborn, uniform and serene, we offer our salutation to it as best as we can. See, a seemingly contradiction is there in the very saying. What you are telling, having realized the non-dual state, that is hard to perceive, deep, unbound, uniform and serene, we offer our salutations. When you say it is unbound, why you are giving salutations? To which you are giving salutations? The question will come. When you say unbound, no birth, then how it is existing? And when there is no birth, it is not existing. So why you offer pranams? Contradiction, seemingly contradiction. Salutation to it as best we can. That the same question now the opponent will be asking. So he says, that which is hard to see, durdarsham, that is, Sri Krishna says, Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabhaha. That means, Mahatma he says first. But to have that type of knowledge, what is? Seeing only the God everywhere, or seeing the consciousness everywhere. Everywhere, in each and every moment, in every object, it comes. Those who see like that are very rare. Sudurlabha. That's why here Gaudapada says, Durdarshaha. Very difficult to understand and experience. That is why it is called Durga. What is the meaning of Durga? Dukkhena gantum yogya iti Durga. You cannot reach it. All right, I will pay so much of money, give me the ticket, I will see. Not like that. Dukkhena gantum yogya. With great difficulty only you can reach. And whenever you want to reach, she will putting so many obstacles that we already explained. And each and every step, illusion and delusion are there. You think that I am quite all right, but you are already in illusion. See, that's why in Yoga Sutra he says, you have to overcome rasaswada. Rasaswada is only indicating that you are progressing spiritually, that's all. Not that you have got everything. So, don't, and Sri Krishna says, you see, you have to overcome the happiness with the sattva also. So, don't get stagnated there. Go ahead. Nishtay guna bhavana, sattva sanjayate, sukham, that also you have to. So, Nishtay guna, go beyond all the three gunas. He says. It is hard to perceive because why we cannot see it? There is no proof to see it. What proof he will give? Direct perception, you cannot. Indirect perception, you cannot. And inference, it is not there. Upama, comparison, it is not there. Nothing is there. What all the proofs you are having, as given by the other doctrines, through that you cannot see. That's why previously also we have explained that it is aprameya, it is beyond all the proofs. Because there is no proof, then How to know? Take the support of scriptures. We are already telling. Through scriptures alone you can understand. Then again he says, Durdarsham ati gambhiram. Not only that which is hard to see, since it is divided of four alternatives, such as alternative notions he has given, whether it is existing, it is not existing, existing, non-existing, not existing, all these things. Therefore it is deep, unfathomable like an ocean. Now you see, Adhigambhiram, he says, it is very deep, unfathomable like an ocean to those who are devoid of discrimination. Nowadays they go down to the ocean also. They bring all the things from there. But here without discrimination you cannot enter. That's why he says, Adhigambhiram. Similarly, it is unborn. Always the same, the serene. Having become one with this non-dual state, we offer our salutation to that state. Now, similarly, it is unborn, always the same and serene. Having become one with this non-dual state, we offer our salutation to the state. You have become one and again you are offering. As best as we can by reducing it to the relative standpoint, though it cannot be subjected to any relative dealings. How you are offering the salutations? As best as we can by reducing it to a relative standpoint. That means, because we are writing the scripture, we are discussing something, we have already brought down the thing into the relative plane. So, from the relative standpoint, though we have become one with that, we are offering our prostrations. This is the meaning. Now we will go to the sub-commentary. He says there is no proof for it. It is not an object of direct perception. So, it is unimaginable, kutastham, changeless, no parts, no qualities, no attachment to anything. Asangam, he has given here three adjectives. Kutastham, unchangeable, nirgunam, qualityless, and not attached, asangam. Three things he has given. Three adjectives are told. How? He says, ajam samyam visharadam. To discriminate these three adjectives, we have used in this sloka ajam samyam visharadam. Ajam means, why you have told ajam? This is the reason given for birthlessness, ajam. That's why we say kutastham, unchangeable. Knowability or knowing is not there. So, why? Because it is nirguna. No gunas in that. When a quality is there, a substance will be there, then you can understand. It is not a substance. No qualities in it. The thing is known through proof. Now opponent is coming. A thing is known through a proof, through the proof, valid proof. Lakshana pramanabhyam vastu siddhihi. That is the definition the opponents say. You should define a thing and you should give a proof. Then only we will accept. But now for this, no lakshana, no pramana. What lakshana you will give? Neti neti. Neti neti is not a lakshana. No quality is there. And no pramana, no proof. But they say only a thing is proved through lakshana and pramana. That is, you should give a definition and you should give proof. Both things are not there. Now, see, the opponent is telling, you can prove a thing only these two things. That is, you should give a proof and you should give a definition. No definition, no proof. So he says, we are having proof, Upanishads. We are having proof. And then in the Upanishads, it is declared by negating all the other qualities of matter. What we negate? We negate all the qualities of the matter. We are having the proof, that is Upanishads, and there it is defined. And how you define? By negating all the objects of the world. So, this is our proof and this is our definition. It is devoid of all qualities. Then you are telling, when you are telling there are no qualities, and your proof is Upanishads, then you are telling Namaskara. Why? Says, Ananatvam Namaskurmo Yatha Balam. Plurality is not there, diversity is not there. But you are telling Namaskara. How is it? Then he says, though the differences are not there in the diversity, is not there, the diversity is due to illusion. We do accept Maya in the relative plane. So, taking into granted the imaginary diversity, we are offering our prostrations. Then why? Mangalacharya already did it 2 times. Again, why you are telling? That is the way that then only the book becomes famous. Many will read and many will teach. That's why. Patana patana dvara nana jana sambandha. He says, by teaching and by reading, it becomes the knowledge of many people. That's why. So, those who accept proofs say so, gives the meaning of the sloka. What? What they say? Though that you want a definition and proof, because of Maya, illusion, we have accepted the duality. Taking into granted the imaginary diversity, we are doing Namaskara. Like that, the knowers of Brahman tell. Shastra. If the absolute is given prostration in the beginning and in the end, so remembering it in the beginning, middle and in the end becomes its praise. Now why you have remembered? We say, it becomes the praise of the absolute, stuti. So, in the beginning, in the end also we have told, as well as by that the greatness of the subject is understood. If you are praising a thing in the sense, you are indicating the greatness of the subject. Hard to see is being explained. Durdarsham. All cannot know. But the followers of tradition can know as it is Kutastha Nirvikalpa Asanga. Why they don't know? Because it is partless, no qualities, and not attached to any subject, object, which has been explained. Now gives the same meaning by the parts. That is, he says, Ajam Samyam Visaradam. Then, when you say, all cannot know, but the followers of tradition, then can be understood through the Vedanta alone. That as non-dual. He is telling about the Brahman with the strength of knowledge. He becomes Brahman itself. Brahmi bhutaha. That means, because of that knowledge, because of the strength of that knowledge, confidence, he becomes Brahman himself. How they bow down to the teacher, the whole can be any relative activities. He says, then why they are bowing down to the teachers? He says, the whole can be any relative activities. You say the Atman is whole, all-pervading, but it can have the Shastra, Shastri and Shishya. All these things in relative activities they do accept. That's why, though not seen through illusion, imagined as if seeing. See, we are not seeing Brahman. We are not seeing the teacher. He has also realized. Then, why you are prostrating? I am imagining them through illusion and prostrating, he says. Namaskara Kriya is told because usefulness is there. Usefulness. What is the usefulness? It is praised, and through the praise, the greatness of the subject has been declared, and through the praise, the many will be reading and many will be teaching. In that way, the knowledge spreads. That's why. Here ends the Karika of Sri Gaudapada on the Mandukya Upanishad, and here ends the commentary of Sri Shankaracharya on both the Upanishad and the Karika. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. But only 10 minutes left. They say, if iti has come, iti Gaudapada Karika, iti Shankaracharya. So, in the middle of the class, if iti comes, we should not proceed ahead. So, but today we will stop here itself. Tomorrow morning onwards, 8 o'clock we can have the class. And
Afternoon class will be 4 to 6.
Afternoon class, only 3 days, let us see, but they have given only the adhyasa they have given.
We can do anything, Swamiji. We just did this, but we can do the rest also.
We will see. Whatever we can do. But as he told that we will follow the bhashya, commentary. Let us see how far we can understand.